The countdown has begun for the National Television Awards, the viewer's choice. A glittering ceremony featuring the biggest stars from around the world, seen on British television. Toast the winners chosen by you on the National Television Awards, Wednesday at 8:30 on Meridian.
Well, it may not have won any awards, but it gets your vote every time. The utterly worst of All Right on the Night, next.
Hey, Annie.
Hi.
Love the hat.
Oh, I need it. My hair's a disaster. Look at my dandruff.
What are you using?
My ordinary medicated shampoo.
What you need is new Head & Shoulders. It's the business look.
Introducing new Head & Shoulders. In tests, it shifts dandruff so much faster that even after another chance, the other one still hasn't caught up with Head & Shoulders.
See? No dandruff.
And it looks great. Thanks.
Don't forget your hat.
Who needs it?
New fastest ever Head & Shoulders. Forget dandruff. Have beautiful hair.
Mr. Chairman, how does the bank justify these rates?
Tell me, how long will this child have to wait for her operation?
Does your wife know who you're with?
What sort of woman is actually going to wear this?
No, one question. Just one.
Get it straight. Get the Express.
Back in the 70s, I must have listened to this record at least 5,128 times, to the point where if I have to listen to it one more time, I think my head's going to blow up. I hate it. I hate the 70s. I hate nostalgia. I hate clogs. I hate lava lamps. I hate burnt sienna corduroy bell-bottoms. But most of all, I hate sugar. This, I don't hate. Holston pills, because it's brewed twice so that all the sugar turns to alcohol. It's no sugar, no honey, and totally candy girl free. Whoops.
There are already big reductions on a huge range of sofas and chairs, dining furniture, beds, bedrooms and carpets. And this weekend only, there's an extra 10% off everything. This offer must end Holiday Monday. There's an extra 10% off everything for your house in Courts.
Tennyson's back, and this time it's more than murder.
How did she die, Oscar?
The police aren't exactly noted for their enthusiasm when the victim is black.
Was she black? Don't tell me she suffered. Please don't tell me that.
If we go in there expecting aggro, start leaning on people, well, we'll get it.
Well, I thought she was the very best person for the job.
I can crack Harvey. I'm sure he holds the key.
I'd be careful if I were you.
The award-winning Prime Suspect, tonight, 9:15 on Meridian.
Now on Meridian, the utterly worst of All Right on the Night.
Tim will put on an exhibition tomorrow morning at 10:30 at West Springfield High School before leaving for Los Angeles on Saturday. In Amherst, Neil Hartman, Newswatch 40 Sports.
Ferdinand Franz Grote, ein gebürtiger Berliner, ist 1982 in Köln gestorben. Er war einer der vielseitigsten Film- und Schlagerkomponisten, die man sich in Deutschland damals...
What can you tell me about Dennis Norden?
He gets everything wrong, and he does cocks up.
Hello, and welcome to another collection of what are now known around these parts as cocks up. You know, those little moments members of the media tend not to put on their CVs. And tonight, as our contribution to the cause of conservation, the program is manufactured from recycled parts of previous shows, specifically those put out over the past 5 years or so. Now, as ever with these anthology programs, the main difficulty was choosing which clips to include, So to make the decision process easier, we didn't just rely on viewers' requests and our own personal preferences. We also recruited a selection committee of a type very rarely seen in this price range. Some of the stars and personalities whose own momentary lapses from perfection we have in the past had the pleasure of exhibiting. Talking about this class of person.
I think my favourite of all time is the live interview with the rabbi with his two sons around him.
Oh, this is one of my favourites.
Tonight begins the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. And standing by at his home, live with Instant Eye, is Rabbi Bradley Bliefeld of the Baltimore Hebrew Congregation with his family. And now they will light the first light of Hanukkah.
Praised are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and permitted us to reach this joyous occasion. Amen.
Rabbi Bliefeld, this is Richard Scher, and we'd like you to explain the significance of Hanukkah, if you would.
Religious freedom. We commemorate the time over 2,000 years ago when a small group of Jews fought for their religious freedom against the Assyrians, and indeed has a special meaning this year because we of the Jewish community share in the concern that hostages being held in Iran, they too are suffering under a contemporary form of religious tyranny.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just love Beryl Reid, and again, being in the business, I mean, I always think when we dry, you know, the official term for it is just wonderful. I think Beryl's very delicate in what she says.
Whenever they start dumping their filth on this planet, they usually pick the places that are still filthy from the last industrial revolution. Silly old cow.
And there's this beautifully trained collie dog which sets off to do these magnificent tricks, and then everything goes wrong.
The thing that absolutely baffles me is in this country, for some reason, when a prisoner's taken out of a van, they always put a blanket over his head. This had to happen sometime.
I can empathise with that woman who is surrounded by turkeys so much. I'm terrified of animals, but turkeys...
You never notice how ugly these things are? They're big and nothing on them is blunt. Everything is sharp and they are ugly. Yes, you are, but nonetheless, every Christmas and Thanksgiving too. There's on my table next Christmas. There's one on everybody's table, but coming up next, another main course. You look... Alligator, whatever, just go to the story. Show! Go away!
Bernard Matthews can say what he likes. I'm with that lady. They are ugly. In fact, I read somewhere that when turkeys make love, the female closes her eyes and thinks of a swan. But tell you one rather alarming thing the choices of our judging panel revealed. There was a distinct preference for clips that might be described as teach yourself grievous bodily harm, a tendency that's certainly evident in this next pile, which is built around sport, exercise and other such damaging activities.
Well, the one I really like is because when I wake up in the morning, I really feel that sometimes I should go for a run. I mean, you look at the state of me, I'm not a fit man. But this clip made me decide I'm healthier staying in bed.
I was much amused by the reporter who was trying to launch the campaign on trying to keep bad language off the terraces at a football match.
So Bristol Rovers and Bristol City are leading the way in this last-stitched attempt to clean up the language on the terraces. Whether it's going to work, that will have to be seen. But nevertheless, the directors at Bristol Rovers are absolutely adamant today to make sure that the crowds, the family, the supporters and every person else...
Well, Katie, not only have you got a fine pair of legs, you've got one heck of a pair of boots.
Oh,
You've given no boots, I said, boots. First choice is the jockey, because I can understand how he felt perfectly being an ex-sportsman.
My day.
Footballers were not always non-smokers. I could tell you of two who played for Newcastle United during those famous cup finals of the 1950s and were delighted to hear the referee's whistle at half-time so they could go in and light up in the Wembley dressing room. It is different now, of course. You never, ever see a professional smoker playing football.
Naill leithaf ar y tractor I weddill y tîm a'i chariau ar draws
Now that Zola Budd has been named by the English cross-country selectors for their team at the World Championship in Portugal next month, despite the tremendous disappointment of having been forced to run out in the English Championships today. So that brings us to the end of our programme. Now let's have a look at the copsucker that cuts on.
There was a certain wrestler, I think he's trying to do some, promotions for his wrestling show, and he's doing a Muhammad Ali, but he's going strong.
Muhammad Jackson, it makes me, now that I know the type of man you are, you don't destroy my work in 4 minutes and get away with it.
The man in the white suit has had a twitch in his right eyelid ever since. But that incident could also have found a place in our next bundle of clips, because what they're here to illustrate is the important television precept, place no trust at all in any of your colleagues. As witness to that, Sue Carpenter takes the stand.
The newscaster in the studio, I love the way he turned round to speak to everyone behind him.
Hello again, looking ahead to the second edition of 7 National News tonight at 10:35, and we talk at length to Youth, Sport and Recreation Minister Neil Tresize. Would you please shut up, for Christ's sake, I'm on air. Excuse me.
It was something I've always wanted to do.
Now, if you desire quickly to slow the machine down, you can press 2 controls at once.
Our reporter Kay Burley has been down to Buckingham Palace, where traditionally they pin the news on the gate. Let's see the crowds.
Well, as you can see, the rain's so far been keeping the crowds away here. Well, I think this one's a perfect example of something that would frequently happen to me on TVAM when I'd be handing back to somebody and I would see their face and I would not remember their name.
Tomorrow is the last day of summer. Sharon? Karen.
Susan.
Well, Sloan Brown has a... You can see her in the background. She, unfortunately, is on crutches tonight, so... Sloan Brown fell down.
When playing darts, the double always falls upon the floor. When I use a public loo, there's no bolt upon the door. When I pull a Christmas cracker... what do you want? I'm trying to make a program. Piss off.
Ceremonies underway at this hour for the Bob Hope Center for Eye Surgery at Presbyterian Hospital.
Action 4's Scott Wallace is standing by live at the ceremonies with the latest. Scott?
Well, of course, Bob Hope is one of America's favorite entertainers. He's also one of Oklahoma's favorites. In fact, he's on the stand right now during this dedication ceremony, so let's listen in to see what Mr. Hope has to say.
Thank you very, very much.
All through the Christmas holiday, ITN will be on the air as usual, bringing you the latest news from Britain and around the world. I'll be here with the rest of the team on Christmas Day.
And I'll be here on Boxing Day. So join ITN and keep in touch.
I'd like very much, particularly with the sort of news background that I have, was seeing the report on the mad cow disease with a rather unexpected ending. That was hilarious.
Meantime, researchers say it will be 3 to 4 years of intensive research before the mystery bug is even identified. This cow will be put down within the week.
Pam Royal, bringing an elegant new dimension to the word gobsmacked. On then to some of the highly emotional outtakes we snaffled from soaps and drama series. And although for some reason very few of these made it into our distinguished consultative body's first three, other members of the supporters club rather fell for scenes like this one.
Oh, no! Oh, I can do, baby. Come on, I can do. Oh, what have you done here, Scott?
I'm handing it to you on a platter. Waring's recommendation and a guaranteed wage double what you're earning at the bank. The door to the world's open to you, Charlie, and you haven't got the guts to kick it wide.
Look, I'll make the decisions, not you.
Well, why don't you then? You wiggle up to this, mind.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh. Thought you'd have been at your dinner by now.
Well, we're not. What do you want?
I just came to see if you... Oh, urgent... oh.
Andy, you two go on ahead. I'll catch you up. Let's go inside, eh?
You sure?
Of course, I'm sure.
Listen, I got a couple of things to do. I'll be back in about,
I thought you could be my friend, that you could make things better just because...
Hello, Ted.
It's not time for me to be at the station yet, is it, Ted?
I just called him Ted and she called him Ted. His name's Todd, isn't it?
Yeah, my name is Todd, but in the show it's Ted.
Oh,
It's impossible.
Dangerous.
Luck to you, Dr. Adams.
Remember. Remember what?
A cowboy getting off the horse. Absolutely marvelous. He's word perfect, but where does he go to?
That's General Custer. Whoa. Message from General Custer, sir. Message from General Custer.
Now you know why they used to execute the messenger who brought bad news. Mind you, a couple more takes with his style of riding and they probably wouldn't have needed to. But we're perilously near the end of part one side now, and as there's a great bundle of our best stuff yet to be crammed in, we'll enter the break with just a single clip, though it is one to which our entire panel gave unreserved, if somewhat puzzled, approval. All I could tell him about it was that it came to us from Dutch TV, its troubled central character had just won some kind of award, and no, it was not a home video.
The little boy with the eel I found so amusing because his face was a picture.
I really sympathise with that little boy trying to put that eel in that pot.
It's the fact that the boy keeps trying to put the lid back on the jug without the eel even being inside it.
I love that empty shot of that jar and what was going to happen.
The funny thing about it is his persistence. You can hear his little sighs. After each failure, he goes, a wonderful little resound,
I love this one.
If you fancy jumping into a Renault, now's your chance. Because we've frozen prices until September. Plus, right now, there's £1,000 cashback and 0% finance on every model in the Renault 19 range. So, to beat next month's Renault price rise, you better get moving. Everyone else will be.
Heineken Export was first introduced to Italy in 1933, where it's had a huge following ever since.
Perché le vacanze di Alfredo sono sempre così lunghe?
Smooth-tasting Heineken Export, the world's favorite import.
Great news for upset stomach and indigestion sufferers. Milk of Magnesia now comes in new non-chalky milkshake flavors that taste as good as they work.
Ah, new Nestlé shredded wheat Fruitful. Now, what I like is...
Raisins and bananas, coconut and papaya. The fruitfully delicious way I start my day.
Shredded wheat Fruitful, the delicious cereal that's bursting with real fruit.
George, sing along.
New shredded wheat Fruitful.
It's deliciously fruitful.
Help at Sale is now on. There's massive savings on bikes and huge savings on car security. There's £15 off selected child seats, and Haynes manuals are only £7.99. Buy front profile velour mats, get rears free, and there's great savings on cycle helmets. Head down to the Help at Sale now.
Only yesterday we were free spirits into free thinking, free loving.
And?
Now we're into free lampshades, free toolboxes, free doors, free paint.
We're giving away loads of great products like lampshades, toolboxes and doors when you buy selected items all this week at the Do It All Free-for-All event.
And they're off. A nice quick start. It's very close. Oops, a bit of a fumble there, but good recovery. And, well, there you have it. With thousands of great ideas in the new Argus catalogue, everyone's a winner.
Come and see us at Crinkley Bottom at Cricket St Thomas near Chard in Somerset. It's Britain's first TV theme park. Visit Mr Blobby's house. See the wonderful wildlife parkland. Enjoy family fun in Blobbyland. Crinkley Bottom is 20 minutes from junction 25 on the M5 and 10 minutes from the A303.
I didn't know what the man was saying, but I felt so sorry for him. We've all been with the kind of situation that breaks up marriages. I can never get one off myself.
I think by now they really should have invented something a little bit better.
He really should have brought one out and said, this is one I made earlier.
I have never seen anybody concentrate better, more specifically, on any object in my life.
A Middle European efficiency expert who knows exactly what he's talking about.
What were they referring to? Well, if, as some people claim, there is a special deity in charge of small annoyances, sardine tin ring pulls that come away in your hand, dry cleaners' labels that are stapled in, checks that tear anywhere but along the dotted line, well, his crowning achievement was undoubtedly the wax cardboard milk container that not only contains, it refuses to let go. When they were introduced into Austria, though, a highly placed ministry official appeared on television to show the Austrian people exactly how to open them.
Wir werden es versuchen. Einmal zuerst bei diesem Verpackungstyp die Laschen aufziehen. Dann kommen hier einmal die Öffnungsanweisungen zum Vorschein. An und für sich ist die Packung perforiert. Es kann aber sein, dass dann das händische Öffnen nicht so leicht möglich ist. Sie sehen es auch hier. Mir gelingt es auch nicht, da nimmt man am besten eine Schere.
drauf. Was gibt es? Wir haben sie vorbereitet.
Nichts darauf. Die meisten Packungen mit den moderneren Dekors haben sie also eine Schere. Die schneiden wir jetzt hier einmal auf. Am besten auf der zweiten Seite auch noch. So, machen wir es richtig gut. Dann müssen wir hier die Lasche vorziehen, möglichst einen schönen Schnabel bilden. Also, das ist nicht schon abgeschnitten. Und jetzt werden wir es versuchen.
Immensely satisfying. But if that one was down on most people's lists, there were other outtakes with which individual performers felt a special personal affinity.
I think I'm most susceptible to laughing on screen, particularly on live television when you may say one thing and it may have a different meaning.
Hello again. Before we continue our programmes this evening, we'd like to greet some new Norwegian viewers who are joining us tonight for the first time en route.
I cannot remember names. And I always feel sympathy when I see someone's eyes, and you can see it very easily. The eyes go glassy, and you know.
The message to them and anyone else who may find anything suspicious when they return is call the police immediately. Jeremy Hands, ITN, in Putney. Except this isn't Putney, is it?
Well, the thing that really tickles me, I'm afraid, I'm ashamed to say about myself, is other people's misfortune. And there was one that, that really made me laugh, where a woman stood up, she just won a game show.
Which is capital of Northern Ireland?
Belfast.
Right. Very good. A 10. We need a 10.
Yeah, Jimmy Bolam. The Room at the Bottom. I mean, we had a great time with that show.
In which a rural dean said that city folk had no idea what was going on in the countryside these days. All seems well as the church bells toll, calling the faithful to prayer. But at night... What happens at night?
These can be litter trained just like a cat, and a lot of people who have them, they'll have the free run of the house. The one thing about it is, though...
Well, I remember what that feels like.
This was a great clip because it's really honesty coming forth.
A learning disability is often not recognized for what it is. It also comes with a set of behavioral problems like hyperactivity and lack of a span. Sorry, the kids are driving me nuts. Let's try it one more time. Anyone got a machine gun?
I've got a good old mate, you know, Kenny Lynch. We do a lot, you know, he used to do it with amateur boxing. He used to come and watch me in the gym a lot, and I can remember him, he was doing a thing as a milkman.
The sun has got his hat on, hip, 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 hooray. The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out today. The sun has got his hat on.
Hello, Mike. You're very happy today. I didn't know you could sing as well.
Yeah, well, I like being a postman, you see.
I've seen it so many times on television when people are trying to cope with something on air, and they're trying to keep that smile.
Jack, now, why do they call them dogs? They don't look like dogs.
Well, they don't, but they bark like a dog.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
by the way,
He's nursing, too. They're all nursing.
Yeah, but you don't...
today.
You try to find a hole. You try to find a hole.
Down my tongue.
I know, but you...
Sexy little thing. How come my little thing is... Okay, we've got it under control. Oh.
See, they tickle, don't they?
They hurt, Jack.
Yeah. But see, these are little prairie dogs, and these... Oh! Wow! Be careful.
Be careful of what?
Don't let them nip you, because they do nip.
They nip?
And you have noted a brief but heartfelt appearance there by someone who really knows a thing or two about small furry animals, Richard Whiteley, the man who hung a ferret on his forefinger for nigh on 90 seconds. But let's move now to a selection chosen by our technical crew, with the result that all of them, in one way or another, are based on equipment failure.
Obviously, as John Elway knows, in this league with as many teams capable of winning the Super Bowl, at least getting that far, you got to project maybe a half a dozen teams have the horsepower.
Some people, they tease one another, take pride in themselves, keeping the other one down. Well, I'm not like that. Some people, they hurt one another, they love to see
Wonderful, isn't it? This is the newest thing on the market, and if I... Can you hear that? Shoes move on. Bell rings. Hey, great. Okay, that's enough, guy. Okay, that's enough. Leo. Beginning to be a lot like Christmas. There's a button in the back. We'll move on. Hey, get your wife, your girlfriend. Buy a couple of them. Christmas is just around the corner. Back over here. No, there's a way to turn this off.
Good evening. One of the most difficult crimes to detect is that committed by a stuck auto cue.
Now for a look at what we'll have at 10 tonight, here's News 7's Ann Lindstrom. Thanks, Kim. Coming up tonight at 10.
Here's another catchphrase.
Fallen angel? Fallen angel?
Fallen angel is not what we're looking for. Barbara?
Crying angel?
Crying angel? No, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for Columbo. Is that
right? Superman had his Krypton, Achilles had his heel, and Roy Walker's got his computer graphics. Well, it's an accepted fact of television life that no matter how good a commercial is, it never has any credits at the end, almost as though they operate in a world where perfection is taken for granted. However, as we've had occasion to demonstrate, the fudge factor there is as high as anywhere.
It's a foaming aerosol. See what happens when I spray it? The foam bills and no dripping.
Well, of course, I go back far enough to have done advertising magazines, remember, where we used to sell things live on air, so my heart really goes out to this guy.
My dad bought this car from Don Sanderson Ford 30 years ago. David Kimberly worked on the lube rack then. My daughter just bought this new Taurus. David Kimberly owns the dealership now. There are a lot of changes at Don Sanderson Ford. You look, your car...
Come on, BJ, yeah. Okay. Central makes it easy for me with handy banks in over 30 locations.
Why do you have to always say that? Why do you have to always say that? Why do you? And why do you have to always say that?
You get into your spiel, it's all going swimmingly, brilliantly well, and then something happens.
Salad Master has the inverted covers for easy storing, genuine Bakelite handles, and a little policeman on the cover so you'll never burn your food. And these pans, friends, are guaranteed as long as you live. Look at this for abuse. First time that ever happened.
The area's largest selection of VHS and beta movies.
Come to the video station.
Hold this. Come to the video station.
Adam Faith, I thought, was marvellous in this because I suspect that had they stuck to what he said, the campaign would have been rather more successful.
If you're not man enough to use birth control, you're not old enough to...
I used to feel tired and listless all the time. My wife left me, my friends left me, my dog left me. And then I started eating prunes again, just a few to start with, every day, a couple in the morning or lunch or for a snack. And then they were so delicious, I started cooking with them again, too, and I began to feel
There's nothing worse than a precocious child, and it's very nice to see one undermined. Take 15.
Okay, and action.
The people at Budget Rent-A-Car in Florida said that this offer has to be simple enough that even a kid can understand it. So, here goes. Rent a compact car or larger from any participating Budget location in Florida. Purchase one...
Quiet used cars win my stamp of approval. They'll win yours too, but you need to be quick. Great cars like these just don't last long. Stop! Stop!
Confirming Rule 4 of the TV Survival Guide, never trust anything in motion. Well, another commercial break due here shortly, so it's worth mentioning that in the posterior portion of the programme, we'll have a glittering cluster of brand new clips for you. Meantime, let's leave part 2 with some cherished examples of interviewer's nightmare, that bugbear of the question and answer trade known as picking a wrong un.
Excuse me, do you mind if I had a couple of words with you? If I said to you, there was a problem with low-level ozone in this area, would you know what I was talking about?
Yeah, I'm a particle physicist.
I'm very proud of this clip because I thought I was the only non-believer in the world.
What's your favorite Bible story? How's it go?
Humpty Dumpty.
Yes, I was wondering how the grandmother got the children from her son and daughter-in-law.
Okay.
The daughter-in-law left the children before they was a year old. We don't know where she is now.
She's in jail.
There's one that's not very funny at all. In fact, it's not at all funny, which is why it's hysterical. This is a woman desperately trying to do her job, and a horse comes up.
Perhaps motorists should think of another way to get around town.
Patricia? What did you do before you were a hooker?
I was with the Los Angeles Police Department as a traffic cop in the Hollywood division for 10 years.
Why did you give it up?
I wanted a more honest profession.
If you were an outsider, would you still come to Scarborough for your holidays?
Oh, definitely. You know, God has been very kind to us. Look at this. 2 wonderful bays, a castle, sunshine. Oh, what more do you want? Why go to the Mediterranean? They've nothing more to offer.
Thank you very much.
If you believe that load of bullshit, you
I've always liked the one about the American biker who's doing something very peculiar at the top of the clip with one of his nuts.
Tell me what happened, very briefly.
This came off my motorcycle on my radio. Fell off my radio. It's a knob, it's a radio knob.
That was just as you were approaching the nuts and bolts in the street that they're cleaning up now. How do you feel about that? Is that an old one?
It's a new one.
I love ad-libbing, and this kid's ad-libbing at its best with the poor doll.
2 lovely young ladies here. Little Brooke, who seems to be very in love with Agro too, and Carolyn.
It's wonderful to be back.
Carolyn, if you don't know, was formerly a Wombat reporter a few years ago when even Craig... many moons ago. Yeah. What brings you back to Australia, Carol?
Basically, we're back visiting a very happy grandma.
Oh, is this the first time Brooke's been to Australia?
I've only got 2 hours to get to Dover. Hop in.
Oh, no. Who's that damn bandit
You've got Garling Black Label. Ah, c'est fait à 4.1%. Oui, pour les faveurs plus grands. No trouble with the blockade, then? Nah.
Who's that damn bandit
Unlike him.
Carling, Britain's #1 selling lager.
Nestle Cheerios, multi-grain nutrition. Never tasted so good.
Multi-grain nutrition. Never tasted so good.
Nestle Cheerios, the goodness of corn, oats, rice and wheat in deliciously light crispy O's. When you try them, you'll say...
Multi-grain
nutrition.
Never tasted
so good.
Told ya.
As time goes by, you notice skin losing firmness and fine lines appearing here on the surface. So what can we do? Clinical tests prove that a new cream from Oil of Ulay can help. Enriched with vitamin E and ceramides, it enhances the unique natural springs found at the surface of the skin to help restore the feeling of firmness and smooth away the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles in under 14 days. And the name? Wrinkle Smoothing Cream from Oil of Ulay.
Wilma, I'm home! The Flintstones. Buy the video now.
And for Riverhead United, there's a change from your printed programme. At number 7, David Platt.
You better be good with a name like that.
David!
Nice one, Dave.
David Platt? He must have cost you a few bob. Interesting story. Last Wednesday week it was. Driving home late, saw these lads broken down. They'd been in town at the Grand for the Player of the Year awards.
What have you got?
Says Platty. Big Mac, large fries, fillet of fish for the wife, says I.
I'll give you a tenner for it.
Says David. No chance, says I.
100?
Says David.
There's got to be something.
You didn't get Platty for a Big Mac.
And a fillet of fish?
Of course not. Just a Big Mac. Bernice would have killed me.
At Courts, there are already big reductions on a huge range of sofas and chairs, dining furniture, beds, bedrooms and carpets. And this weekend only, there's an extra 10% off everything. This offer must end Holiday Monday. There's an extra 10% off everything for your house in Courts.
And Paul Nicholas, I think, is just absolutely brilliant because his face is just a picture.
The chap he's talking to doesn't realise that it has gone wrong and Paul has gone off on another tangent.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, it's Poirot here. He's not well. He's off his food, he's unsteady on his legs, and he's got this rash on his back.
Well, let's see if we can solve the case, shall we?
Eh?
Well, it's quite elementary, Mr. Kimball. I deduce that Poirot has got sunburn.
Sunburn? You taking the mick?
Not at all. It's very common with pigs.
Well, what's the answer then?
Easy. Just get him a T-shirt and a pair of Ray-Bans. No, it's all right, Mr. Kimball.
This guy who's wearing his bulletproof jacket is very, very proud of it.
The cloth that I'm wearing is interlaced with pieces of iron. It's called a bulletproof vest. And for Metro police officers, it could save their lives. This morning, here at the gun range, they were demonstrated. To test the effectiveness, we'll fire a .22 caliber pistol into this vest.
I think every presenter lives in fear of corpsing, but in a way wants to corpse because it's absolutely natural.
Drinking untreated stream water can give you an intestinal ailment known as beaver fever. It gets its name because beaver and muskrat are the source of the parasite called Giardia. A state health official says cold weather does not guarantee safe water. David Frost says beaver fever has been found in 31 of Washington's 39 counties, even in the winter.
As we told you last night on News Center, all this week we'll be bringing you season's greetings from servicemen and women who can't get home for the holidays.
Tonight's greeting comes from Master Sergeant Agnes Erickson.
Tonight's greeting goes out to a family in Dayton.
Oh, next United Way.
I like this clip very much because my father's a psychoanalyst and it was the sort of ultimate Freudian slip.
One of the world's most eligible England's Prince Charles.
You know, I don't think you'd find anybody in the country that doesn't think that Michael Williams isn't a great actor, except maybe one.
I bring great news, mighty Og, Lord of the Universe.
The favourite one of mine, I suppose, is the guy who's doing the interview with and the wind's blowing up and blowing up a storm, and he's got this air that you can tell he's...
Already listed as in residence for the September Working Day.
Isn't it a pity you can't Velcro the scalp? Anyway, good news now for anyone who's ever fallen over backwards taking nose drops. Don't be discouraged, because even highly trained members of the performing professions have been spotted experiencing the odd moment of agility failure. And we can show you where they were spotted.
The one I like best was the one with the lady presenter who's making an entrance and an announcement, for some reason, on the back of a donkey.
A real calamity, Jane, straight from the big screen, right? Well, he wouldn't give me a rail or see. Too expensive. So I have to end up making an ass of myself. Very agonising travel.
Right, let's take a break. I bet you're getting tired by now. You know, so far, 75,000.
The Druids began this tradition over 5...
Well, it's a case of perm anyone from 3, and here's the girl who's hoping to strike it lucky. Was she in for something? Her name is Carmel, and she comes from the East Midlands. Come in, Carmel.
A single oak. You're not bewitched, you're mad.
Here, Ricky, but I don't see him. But I better find him for the rest of tonight's show. Stay right where you are. We'll be back.
I love this clip because it's really the quest for glamour, unfortunately going awry.
Now keep your hair away from your figure-8 repelling device.
Okay, wait a minute.
You use repelling when you come off a vertical section.
Oh, my God, my extensions are caught.
Hold on. Oh, my God. Hold on with your right hand.
If you fall, I'm going to kill you.
Okay.
But my extensions are caught. Are they caught in the thing?
I don't believe it.
Her hair is caught in the rope.
Can you get them out?
I don't think so.
Meet the Puerto Rican crested toad. Not the prettiest animal in the world, but there's only about 1,000 of these little gaffers left in the world. Almost 999. You have too much for this.
There's a great one from an American soap that I think actually goes out at 8:30 in the morning, and it's a steaming nymphomaniac housewife trying to get a bloke's socks off.
Oh, Annie, please, please. I promise you I won't go anywhere, please.
Not when I get through with you.
No, please, Annie, don't do this to me, please.
Okay,
please,
here
Annie.
goes the shoes.
Don't do this to me.
Get my foot up. And here goes the little sockies. In just a moment, the sockies are gone.
Don't do this to me.
Are they glued?
No, but they're gonna stay on.
Are your feet tattooed? Give me the goddamn socks.
Well, it's a twist, socks and violence. But to continue this revision course, another favourite theme was the kind of outtake where those involved didn't realise they'd fallen into error. They simply carried on quite unaware. A bit like those cartoon cat moments where the cat keeps running even though there's now only air underneath him. Examples.
And what are you hoping to achieve then?
I would hope that the Brighton Council will agree to set up a body to look into the costs of funerals in this town.
You say one thing and you realise it has a totally different meaning, and it started something like the secret of a good lay.
And a powerful lobby basically stems from a membership that supports the board. Like the old farming saying, the secret of a good lay is a firm bottom.
And in this case, it was the lovely delayed reaction of this guy.
Regarde pas.
Pourquoi?
Parce que je veux que ça soit une surprise. J'aime pas quand les gens les voient avant qu'elles soient finies, c'est comme ça. Même Guillaume n'a pas le droit de les voir.
Bon, très bien. De toute façon, c'est toi que je préfère mieux.
Ah, bah tu peux pas non plus. Mon nez est tout rouge.
Qu'est-ce que je vois?
De toute façon, je finis toujours par me mettre au soleil trop longtemps.
Et qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Now, we've got Craig in Ottawa to tell us what he's got there. Craig? Good morning, Craig.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing for us in Ottawa?
We're not on yet, are we?
Yes? We're on.
Tonight, another debate between the two candidates. This time, the debate was in front of the lesbian and gay community of Denver. Deborah Quintana is standing by live right now at the Tracks nightclub where the debate took place. Debbie, I understand it's over. Anybody come out on top?
This is from Miss Selfridge. It's a spotted dress. You can probably tell. It is, no, it's spotted. It's got lots of spots on it. You see, it's spotty. And it's very thin cotton, and it must have cost about 25 quid. I bought it when I was pregnant, and I have not had it off since. Oh!
Then take this train, the TGV, and 1.5 hours later on the Train de Grande Vitesse, France's fast train, you find yourself here in Dijon, the heart of Burgundy. An area where the Pinot Noir grape mingles with the Chardonnay to produce some of the finest wines in the world. So join us as we explore Burgundy country. Wait a minute. This is our train.
What wine goes with panic? Well, approaching next, a much favoured assortment, the romantic clips, scenes of kissing, fondling, lovemaking and similar contact sports. Many of them proving that despite what people may say, it's not that easy taking a girl to bed on television.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Mary.
Hello? You got
Flash, I love you.
Steady on, old girl.
There's a lady who is doing a very old-fashioned BBC-style, very romanticized promotion for Valentine's Day. And
Now, how did you meet your loved one, or even your husband or wife? Was it desperately romantic? Did you go weak at the knees? Did your roses wilt in their stems? Oh, bugger.
Can I see you again?
I don't know. What is there to see?
A great deal.
Your Highness, may I introduce you to the bride and groom, my younger daughter, Susan, now Mrs. Bingham.
Thank you for coming.
I get this piece of pineapple stuck right here.
I didn't taste it.
I can remember occasions on which I have been sung at on TV and wanted to do to the person who's singing in my face exactly what the chimpanzee does to this lady.
That's life in Nashville. Work hard, play hard, fall down hard. But it brings us to our final compilation, the ones you haven't seen before. And therefore, the moment for me to say first our usual thank you to all those media people who've allowed us to place their private mortifications on public exhibition. And secondly, to express our customary regret for the clips we didn't manage to get hold of. Like the moment when Lloyd Grossman and his entire camera crew got arrested for breaking and entering, the documentary on vasectomy where someone misunderstood the director's shout of cut, and the episode of Baywatch where Mitch forgot to remove his chewing gum during mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Onward then to our farewell bunch, and all of these, as promised, from the Cock-Up Lock-Up labelled Brand New Ones.
Okay, that's fine. Next. Now, the next thing we've got, I've got this wonderful Indian sparkling wine called Omar Khayyam, which is, it's actually very good. It's produced in India. Fullers sell it down in the south. And
east on Washington, visibility was
Right, I want to talk to smokers with young children. Your cigarette smoke can seriously damage your children's health. It can aggravate asthma and increase the risk of chest infections. So, give it up now, hmm?
This is the Oaxacan caviar. Crickets and grasshoppers actually boiled to their red. And this is a delicacy.
This comes to Amsterdam Zoo.
A place where giant strides have been made to bring zoo animals and visitors closer together.
Well, Mama said there'd be days like this. I just wish they weren't all Thursdays. With the Fish and Game Report, I'm Frank Davis for Channel 4 Eyewitness News.